convey this idea effectively, you know. When we have something like this, that's sort of scorpion and crab-like. The original statement was this sort of a spider-like creature from the mist, and you know, you start with the idea of the spider, but then you start playing with the idea of like, well, what does the front part of the scorpion looks like? What does the front part of the crab looks like? And then it starts giving you these points of inspiration, and we discussed this with the Millennium Falcon. I mean, like I said, I mean, the starting point, it's a World War II bomber mixed with a flying saucer. The Tumbler from Batman, it's like the stealth bomber mixed with an assault vehicle. When we think of, say, you know, even more recent things, like the characters in Avatar. You know, the initial idea are these sort of idyllic kind of rainforest characters. So yeah, you start looking at Native Americans and people that have lived in rainforests, and you know, in this case, he's trying to do these idealized people, and so they kind of all look like supermodels. Whether or not you agree or disagree with his point of view, the point being is that there's always inspiration, you know, and opening your eyes to it. You should never get stuck for ideas. You should only really get the only way I really get stuck is when my skills aren't up to the task of being able to convey what my ideas are about.
Okay, thank you, Carlo. And this will be our last question for this session.
Okay.
It's from Juan Rubio. Doesn't have a mic either at the moment. He's asked, is there any other tips for pushing designs for small screen space, such as for RTSs or even mobile titles?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, really really understand the point of view that you're going to look at the character at. You're not just going to design things willy-nilly. Oh, I wanted to thank, by the way, before I continue answering this question, I do want to thank all of you that have come out and attended this program and came out to talk and to see me. But yeah, you know, really, let's go back to that sort of space character that I had before. Okay, so let's take a look at a guy like this. All right, so obviously not an RTS type of guy. He's not going to read very well from top down. But with these designs right here, he does read well from over-the-shoulder point of view. And now this was a demo originally when people asked me how I would have designed the Dead Space character. My main idea was that I wanted him to look more vulnerable, so that I created kind of like this open, much more open mask, unlike the character that they had on screen, which was cool, but I felt like the game ended up not being scary because he didn't look vulnerable. He looked more like one of the bad guys, a powerful enemy, or like the Big Daddy from BioShock, and he did a vulnerable astronaut looking for his fiancée. So yeah, so clearly something like this wouldn't work, not only from you know, lack of exaggeration, but detail distribution. The details are not distributed in the point of view that you're going to be looking at. Let's take a look at another one. So, hold on. So this guy, all right. So a guy like this, you know, for more of an I guess isometric point of view, like you would find in Diablo, you know, with the character smaller on screen, this guy works well. Not only does he have oversized objects like the, you know, the missile rack up on his back, or the oversized guns that he's carrying. Notice that how his stance is. It's this sort of wide stance. And even looking at him from top down, you'll be able to see the movement of his legs when he's animating. But here's the important part. again, we're using the triangle here again. If you take a line from the tip of these things, you know, the missile launchers, and the tip of the gun, you create this triangle. Now, the triangle isn't just there to be a triangle. What it becomes is it becomes an arrow, okay? So you know how the character is facing, right? As you're turning him around in shooter style, if an alien's coming towards you, or an enemy or a mech or whatever, you now know exactly where he's pointed, even if he hasn't started shooting yet. So that's another big tip. You know, what's the business end? What's the front part of it? Because stuff like that happens in nature. I mean, you look at a T-Rex, the business end is obviously the head. So that's one of your concerns when you're designing something small on screen. How's that?
Awesome. Well, I'd like to thank everyone for attending the Q&A, and for Carlo and his wonderful demonstrations and just incredible workshop. For those of you who are still interested, we have other workshops available for purchase, so make sure to go back to the site and check those out. Also, we will be providing this particular Q&A later on, probably in a week sometime. So I say check back on the site frequently to see when it's updated with this Q&A. And beyond that, make sure to also go to the Carlo's page and fill out the survey about what you thought about his workshop and everything. Beyond that, we thank you all for attending, and we thank you again, Carlo, for all your time and wonderful work.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right.
Bye-bye.